This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Hey everybody, it is the After Party live on this Trivia Thursday. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you for especially everyone who hung out for 2 hours with the Mark Thompson Show and has now come to hang out here as well. I appreciate your presence and your participation, and I think it's going to be a good Trivia Thursday. I'm kind of excited. So that comes up a little bit later. Did you see it? Oh, you did see it. Finally, such a long time coming, but this show is finally remonetized. And as a matter of fact, I knew we had sent in the form yesterday, and I didn't realize that it had actually happened until you guys started jumping in with contributions trying to keep this show alive. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you how important that is because it wasn't looking good this month at all. So huge appreciation. Cindy, slapping down $10. Love relaxing fun news and Trivia Thursday. She says thank you. Thank you, Cindy, for first of all, even being here and then also supporting the show financially. Just can't even tell you how much I appreciate it. Trevor Starr in Hollywood. Yes, I can have super chats, my friend, on your birthday week. It's like a gift from you. Here you go with 1010 he gives us. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Trevor Starr in Hollywood. You are the star. Wes coming in with a $5 super sticker. Wes supporting the show all the time on the PayPal link here on the super chat. You're awesome, Wes. And I'll have you know, my friend, yesterday, my husband and I sat down, looked at the instructions that you sent, and managed to make the PayPal link into a hyperlink in the About tab on the show. I still can't make it happen in the show description, but if you're looking on YouTube and you look up After Party Live and you click About, the PayPal link is now the first link and you can just click on it. You don't actually have to go copy and paste it. So thank you to Wes for making that happen as well. And also my husband. I appreciate it. Nick, woohoo! Super Chat is live with $10. Nick, thank you, thank you, thank you. And thanks for being here. And you look so cool with your sunglasses on in that picture. I love it. Luis coming in with $9.99. After Party Super Chats are back. Woo! Here's some for the Gatorade fund for the marathon you're running. It's true. It's a lot, but you know what? It's okay. I'm lucky to be able to work from home. I'm lucky to be able to, after this show's over, go spend time with the kids and activities and do all the things. So this is good. This is really good. And I know it's a lot, but we'll get through it. It's okay. And thank you. I really appreciate the contribution. Dallas coming in with $25. Dallas, thank you. Thank you. So generous, so kind. And I know it's kind of a super chat celebration right now. I'm excited. This is awesome. Heather coming in with $5. Thanks for all you do, Kim. Thanks for all you do, Heather. You keep me laughing and giggling every single day. So thank you for being here and spending your time. I'd miss you if you weren't here. All of you, as a matter of fact. So thank you for the super chats and the super stickers, for financially supporting the After Party Live and trying to keep this little show going. I don't know what subscriber number we're at. I was trying to push toward 2,500. And it seems like when I published the short videos, when I pulled little sections of the stories that we've covered during the day, it seems to bring in more subscribers. So when I looked last night, I'll see what it is today. At last check, we were at 2130, I want to say. I don't know. Let's see what it is right now. Bear with me for just a moment as we take a look. It is currently the subscribership at drum roll. Come on, computer. Let's see what it goes. Oh, it's taking forever. 2132. So there you go. Slowly inching the way up to 2,500. So that's awesome. Thank you to everyone who subscribed way back when and now as well. All right, and Doug coming in with a super sticker as well. Thank you, Doug. Thank you so much. Thanks to everyone who's celebrating the return of the super sticker and being monetized here on YouTube. It's a great day. Doug and Heather and Dallas and Luis and Nick and Wes and Trevor and Cindy. Thank you guys so much. All right, let's get into these stories, why don't we? First one I have for you today is a breaking story, and it's more real news than it is fun news, but I saw it in between shows. I didn't have a chance to see it when I was talking to David Katz a few minutes ago, so I wanted to make sure, because I didn't cover it in news on the Mark Thompson show, that you were all aware of what happened at Oakland Mayor Sheng Tao's house today. Yeah. Her house was raided by the FBI. 4 agents banging on the door at 6 o'clock this morning. There were several unmarked cars still outside. That, according to my friend Dan Noyes from ABC7, who's an amazing investigative reporter. The FBI conducted court-authorized law enforcement activity in Oakland this morning, is all they have confirmed. So I don't know what they're looking for, but I do know that according to Dan Noyes, the raid on Mayor Sheng Tao's home involved the IRS and it involved the U.S. Postal Service. Her neighbor said the banging on the door came at about 6 a.m. and that the mayor was escorted out of her home by agents as they went in to search. And I, again, don't know what they were looking for. She was supposed to appear in an event earlier this morning, but canceled as word of this whole raid spread around. I can't tell you that a couple of days ago, a move to recall her reached enough signatures to put it on the ballot. And so we don't know what ballot, if it will be November in the general election. Don't know exactly when this will happen, but they do have enough signatures. And now comes the raid of the house of the mayor of Oakland. Here's a picture, thanks to SF Gate, of what the mayor's house looks like. This is what the house that was raided today in Oakland. So we'll see. I don't know what the case involves. Again, it did involve the folks from the U.S. Postal Service and also from the IRS. So that's what we know. Some things going down at the mayor's house in Oakland. Wow. Let's talk about from the serious news. I mean, I guess this is serious if you see it on the roadway. They had this giant emu that, I mean, imagine this is you're driving your kid to school and there's an emu in the road. Good morning. It's happened in Alberta, Canada, right during the morning commute. This 6-foot-tall emu was right in the middle of the roadway. This woman, her name's Lonnie, she said she was driving her kids to school on Wednesday morning when she came across this giant bird in the middle of the roadway. There was another driver who had already stopped to help. They teamed up to try to protect this beautiful bird from oncoming traffic. I can imagine it's hard to protect one of these birds if they're fighting against you. Look at that beak. They said they were herding it almost like a cow, that we drove it up the highway and then down one of the side roads. And then more drivers joined in, trying to get this emu off the roadway. The bird finally successfully loaded into a transport vehicle when the SPCA arrived and taken off to a veterinary clinic. The kids were late to school, according to Lonnie. She said they were very late, but they got an awesome story to tell. She said, I'm sure their whole class heard about the morning adventure with the emu. Emu safe. They're still looking to find out who it belongs to, but it is safe and getting some care. So that's the good thing on that. Speaking of animals, well, old animals, check out this guy. This guy is a horned dinosaur. And scientists say this new species of horned dinosaur that roamed the northern United States has been discovered. 11,000 pounds, 22 feet long, the largest centrosaurine ever found in North America. They think he roamed the swamps of what's now the Badlands of Montana in the late Cretaceous period, 78 million years ago. The new dinosaur identified and then named Lokiceratops rangiformis. This is what they've named it at Colorado State University because of the curving blade-like horns on the rear of its frill. Look at that head. That's crazy. It had an asymmetrical horn that kind of is, could they compare to the antlers of a caribou? So, yeah, really interesting. The find is detailed in a peer-reviewed study on the scientific journal Peer J. And as you can imagine, Lokisaurus, right? It's named for Loki, the mythological human-like Norse god with horns, and its Triceratops descendant. It translates to about Loki's horned face that looks like caribou, is kind of what the name means. This dinosaur has a permanent home now in Denmark. So we went with a Norse god, they said, and in the end, it doesn't it really just look like Loki with those curving blades? This according to the paleontologist at the Natural History Museum of Utah in Salt Lake City. So they put on a replica on display at the museum. And they say it's one of these stories with a happy ending, where it didn't go into somebody's mansion. It ended up in a museum where it will be preserved forever so people can study it and enjoy visiting it. It is on permanent display at the Museum of Evolution on the Danish island of Lolland, south of Copenhagen in Denmark. So, pretty cool. Yeah. They said once they pieced the skull together, they realized they had a new dinosaur species. That it was a new one. It's the largest ever North American find from a group of horned dinosaurs called the centrosaurines. It has the largest frill horns ever seen on a horned dinosaur, but it does not have the nose horn, which is common to most centrosaurines, like the big rhinoceros nose horn coming out. I think it makes up for it with the other horns on its head. I mean, I think we got enough horns going on there. I don't know. They say this new dinosaur pushes the envelope on bizarre headgear, sporting the largest frill horns ever seen in a centropsian, is what they call it. The skull ornaments one of the keys to unlocking horned dinosaur diversity and demonstrate evolutionary selection for showy displays contributed to the dizzying richness of the Cretaceous ecosystems. How cool is that? Now, what they think is that all these funky horns on its head didn't have much to do with being a predator as much as it did with just being able to show off. Because this guy was a harmless plant eater. So why he would need all these horns? I don't know. Is maybe to attract a mate? Maybe just to look fierce? To keep other predators away? I don't know. Didn't use them for hunting, though, apparently. So, pretty cool. The researchers say we think the horns on these dinosaurs were analogous to what birds are doing with their feather displays. They're using them either for mate selection or species recognition. So, that's why the horns. They're glorious, I'll tell you that. I mean, if you're going to have horns, let's have some horns, right? Let's have these horns. Did you see this story's a couple days old, but I wanted to play the video. There's a new world record when it comes to fist bumping. And I mean, you'd have to really, really bump a lot of fists to get this result. I have the video. This is a story about a Guinness Book of World Records set by this man in Idaho who has broken his own fist bumping record. And let me play the video for you. Here it is. You can see how many times he fist bumps. Check it out. Boom, 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 boom. You got to be really fast. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. So that's it. And with that, breaks the record. They're going to do it in slow-mo here as well. This guy broke the fist bumping record 397 times in 30 seconds. That's pretty fast. He originally broke the record 273 fist bumps in the allotted time in 30 seconds. And he broke his own record when he and Howie Mandel fist bumped 380 times on an episode of America's Got Talent. Now he's done it, I think, on YouTube 397 times in 30 seconds. So there you go. Yeah, he was on YouTuber Dr. Mike's podcast, and they broke the record. So there you go. New worldwide fist bumping record. Okay, interesting. How about this one? I know a lot of people suffer from back pain. And when you have back pain, or when you feel like, you just want to lay down or find a comfortable position in a chair or on a bed where you just kind of find the right spot and your back doesn't hurt as much, well, that might not be the right way to look at it. Because according to this new study, especially if you have low back pain, walking can bring huge benefits. The study is called the Walk Back Study, and it was done by Macquarie University's Spinal Pain Research Group in Sydney, Australia, and it was published this week in The Lancet. And they say that adults with a history of low back pain were able to avoid a recurrence for longer if they walked regularly compared to those who did not. In 2020, researchers say low back pain affected 619 million people across the world. And by 2050, they think it's going to jump up to 843 million. The best practice currently to manage and prevent back pain suggests combining exercise with education. But they say a lot of people don't have time or the access to exercise because sometimes it costs a lot, it's complicated, you need to be supervised, this type of thing. And that is what kickstarted these researchers to look into figuring out whether walking could be a helpful, cost-effective intervention for people that were suffering from low back pain. And so they took about 1 to 3 years and they tracked 700 adults with a recent recovery from an episode of low back pain. And they randomly assigned people to this individualized walking program and 6 physiotherapist-guided education sessions over 6 months. And their findings, they say, could have a profound impact on how people manage their low back pain. The intervention group had fewer occurrences of activity limiting pain compared to the control group, and a longer average period before they had a reoccurrence, with a median of 208 days compared to 112 days. Walking is low cost, widely accessible, very simple exercise that almost anyone can do regardless of geographic location, age, or socioeconomic status. And they say walking is highly effective for back pain prevention because of the combination of gentle oscillatory movements, loading, and strengthening the spinal structures and muscles, relaxation and stress relief, and the release of feel-good endorphins as well. It also brings on cardiovascular health, bone density, lower weight, improved mental state, all according to researchers, and longer pain-free periods with back pain. So, if you suffer from low back pain, maybe start walking a little bit more. I know it seems like, you just want to sit somewhere where you're not feeling the pain, but maybe in between pain times, if your pain ever goes away, kickstart the walking regimen. Here's a story about, I am calling it the very extra lucky clover. It's not a 4-leaf clover, not a 5-leaf clover. No, it's not a 20-leaf clover. It's a 63-leaf clover. This man in Japan has grown a lucky clover, a 63-leaf clover. It is now breaking a Guinness World Record. His name, the man, is Yoshiharu Watanabe. He started cross-pollinating clovers at his home in 2012, and he was trying to break the world record here. So he was consciously trying to do this. It wasn't just this lucky clover that grew in his yard. He was working on it. He said, since the number of leaves increased year by year, I have been aiming for this Guinness World Records title ever since. He used a combination of letting his clover patches pollinate naturally and then hand pollinating those with the most leaves. And he wasn't always successful. He said sometimes the number of leaves went down. Sometimes you ended up with a normal 3-leaf clover. So he said, we still don't know what genetics are involved in a high number of leaves. We know that genetics are involved, but we don't know exactly how it works. So this 63-leaf clover beats the previous record of 56 leaves, also set by a Japanese resident, a resident of Japan. But he said he was overjoyed to discover that his clover now has the record. And here's his quote. He said, "People that say a 4-leaf clover brings you happiness, it would be really great if this 63-leaf clover would bring surprise and pleasure to people." That's kind of a cool looking clover. I'm liking it. This story, I'm going to present it to you, but I have a lot of questions about it. I don't really understand how they can make such a widespread declaration. The story is that 1 in 4 yards in the United States have unsafe levels of lead. The yards of 1 in every 4 U.S. households have soil lead levels that exceed new federal lead screening levels of 200 parts per million. This is according to a new study. A biochemist at Indiana University led this study, said he assumed it was going to be a more modest number and was shocked at how many households were above the new 200 parts per million guideline. The results for the 100 parts per million guideline are even worse, he said. The EPA set 100 parts per million for households with lead exposures thought to be from multiple sources. About 29 million U.S. households could be contaminated by soil lead levels that exceed the new EPA guidelines. And to fix it, to dig and dump the soil with that removal method, it'll cost $1 trillion, according to the study authors. So unless they go testing all the yards and all the cities, I don't know how they can say 1 in every 4 yards in America, because clearly not every yard was tested. So, what one town looks like, the soil in one town may not be similar to the soil in another. I don't know. I don't know how they make this, but the findings come from a database of soil samples from 16,000 residents, just about, across the contiguous United States. And so they test these 16,000 samples, and they find about 1/4 of yards in the sample exceed the 200 parts per million level. It's compared to about 12% of yards that exceeded the older EPA guideline of 400 parts per million. You can find the findings in the journal GeoHealth. The traditional way that people remove lead from soil has been to dig it up and cart it away. That's pretty expensive often and can take years to do. There's a cheaper solution that a lot of gardeners use, and that's called capping, where you bury the contaminated soil under about 1 foot of soil or mulch. And urban gardeners have been doing this for a long time with raised beds as well, because they have known about the lead and are concerned about the history of land use at their house. And a huge advantage of this capping is that it immediately reduces exposure. So you're not waiting 2 years on a list to have your yard remediated while your child is getting poisoned. It's done in a weekend. That according to the study author. But the study author, his name is Gabriel Filippelli, he says he's really optimistic. Lead, he said, is the most easily solvable problem that we have. We know where it is. We know how to avoid it. He said it's just a matter of taking action. You remember, speaking of the environment, this horrible train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio? Well, a new study was done. We saw all the media reports after this, and they said, oh, the air is safe, your land is safe, your soil is, don't worry about it. It really wasn't that far reaching, and we're going to spend money to clean it up, and you're all fine. Yeah. This report done now estimates toxic chemicals from this incident now affect 110 million people. The chemicals from this particular train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, carried to 16 states and Canada. Yeah. The toxic chemicals from this accident, February of 2023, near the Pennsylvania border in Ohio, carried and polluted 16 states, including parts of Canada. This, according to a study released on Wednesday. They estimate the toxic chemicals affect 110 million U.S. citizens from the Midwest in Minnesota and Wisconsin, all the way to New England. These chemicals were found as far as Tennessee, North Carolina, and far to the north in parts of Ontario and Canada. The study's lead author, Dr. David Gay, said, "I didn't expect to see an impact this far out. There's more going on here than most people would have guessed," he said, including me. He's the coordinator of the National Atmospheric Deposition Program, and they collected samples at 260 sites in North America. And the measurements showed expectedly high levels of chloride concentrations, but it was a bit surprising because he said of the vast geographical area that this covered. So the EPA says it knows about the study. They're still reviewing it. The train cars carried vinyl chloride benzene, ethylene glycol monobutyl, ethyl hexyl acrylate, isobutylene, and butyl acrylate, all associated with a range of acute or chronic adverse health effects, depending on the level of exposure and the frequency of exposure. And the findings of this study, again, not what we heard coming out after the, it's all okay. The news reports released last year claimed Canada would likely not be on the receiving end of any toxic chemicals here. The study authors say they detected chemical concentrations that maybe aren't toxic, but are pretty unusual in a lot of places, saying plant and marine life could suffer negative effects because of all this. So, he said it's not death and destruction. In some cases, it's low concentrations, but they're high relative to the normal that we typically see, and some of the highest that they've measured in the last 10 years. There is a $1.4 billion for range of that was announced by the White House, $1.4 billion to improve railroad safety and repair infrastructure across the United States because of the bipartisan infrastructure law. So at least that's good. And Norfolk Southern, the rail carrier here, they say they're spending more than $1 billion on contamination cleanup and mitigating other potential harms, along with providing rail safety and operations and kind of shoring all that up. So there was a $310 million settlement with Norfolk Southern in this derailment as well, $15 million civil penalty. And they have to pay for past and future cleanup costs and enhanced rail safety. So that's what we got. More far-reaching than we realized, and definitely not what we heard. All right, we end the stories today with this lady. She has the longest legs. Another Guinness book. Look at those legs. Her name is Ekaterina Lysina, and she is the woman with the longest legs in the world. She's also, by the way, the world's tallest model, and she has the biggest female feet in Russia, size 13. Well, she's tall, so, that pans out. It works. Her left leg measures 52.3 inches. Her right one is 52 inches long, so she's a little off kilter there. She's 6'9". She said she realized early on that her height would be one of her biggest assets. With a successful career in basketball where height is of essence, it allowed her to find favor, she said, in both sports and modeling industries very early on. And she says she owes it all to her family's genetics. Not a member of this family is under 6 feet tall. One of her brothers is 6'6". Another brother, or her dad, is 6'5". Her mother is 6'1", and her son is already taller than everyone in his class, and hasn't even reached puberty yet. And again, she's 6'9". So, she said it's not always fun to tower above everybody else, but it got her the world record for the longest legs. She, of course, is Russian, Ekaterina, and she also has another world record because of her genetics. At 6'9", it makes her the world's tallest model. So there you go. Ekaterina. Her family said they noticed that she had really long legs the minute that she was born. They knew that she was going to be really tall and have really long legs. There's a picture of her standing up where you can kind of tell, I think, a little bit better how tall her legs are. So let me show you this picture. I mean, you can see them on the couch as well, but check this out. I mean, wow. That would be so annoying. Imagine she has to duck through every doorway. I mean, she's got the monster high heels on too, but wow. Wow. Looks cool. All right, you guys ready for it? Yay, it's time for Trivia Thursday. Let's bring it on. Oh, not Travel Tuesday. It's Trivia Thursday. Here we have it. You guys ready? I'm going to the chat. Here we go. Oh, wait, before we do that, I have some more people to thank. Sandy throwing down a $5 super sticker, and Gary D with a $10 super sticker. You guys, thank you. Yay, we're remonetized. You guys are so nice. I'll run through it all again at the end of Trivia Thursday, but I just can't tell you how much I appreciate it. You guys are so awesome. Okay, so the first section on Trivia Thursday has to do with gold. And the category is as good as gold. All right, so there's gold in most of these answers. The first one is, because people mistook it for the real thing, this became another name for iron pyrite. What is the other name? What is the other name for iron pyrite? I think I have it. Oops. Make sure I have the answers for you. I think you guys will probably get this. Yeah. You are all correct. It is indeed fool's gold. Fool's gold, fool's gold, fool's gold. Good job, everybody. All right. Before it became independent from Britain in 1957, what was the African nation of Ghana previously called? Before it became independent from Britain in 1957, what was the African nation of Ghana previously called? If you got it. Yep, Karen has it. It was the Gold Coast. Luis has it. It was the Gold Coast. I'm giving it to Linda. It was the Gold Coast. Yes. And Walter and Chris from Menlo Park and Linda. Right on, you guys. It was the Gold Coast. Okay, next one. Pro golfer Jack Nicklaus got his name from his high school alma mater's team name. What was it? Pro golfer Jack Nicklaus got his nickname from his high school alma mater's team name. What was it? We should know this one in California. Yeah, it was the Golden Bear. That's right. Nice. The Golden Bear. Golden Bear. Good job, John Watson, Louise, Donna. Well done. Ian Fleming wrote his first James Bond novel, Casino Royale, at his home in Jamaica in 1952. What was the home called? It's a little more obscure. This again. Ian Fleming wrote his first James Bond novel, Casino Royale, at his home in Jamaica in 1952. What was the home called? Not Goldfinger. Good guess, though. Something quite similar. Quantum of Solace. It was not called that. There's gold in the name. You guys want me to tell you? Not Goldfinger. It is another body part, though. Gold. It was not Octopussy. Golden Arches. That was good, Chris, but nope, it's not Golden Arches. Golden Gun. Okay, I'll tell you. It is called GoldenEye. GoldenEye is the name of it. Yep, Sandy has it. GoldenEye. There it is. GoldenEye is the name. Yep, Heather as well. GoldenEye. All right, Gold Toe. Nice one, Walter. Considered one of the greatest hockey players ever, and perhaps the greatest left winger ever, his slap shot was once clocked at 118.3 miles per hour. What is the nickname of Canadian Hall of Famer Bobby Hull? What is the nickname of Canadian Hall of Famer Bobby Hull? Gold butt. Good one, but no. What is the nickname of Bobby Hull? Considered one of the greatest hockey players, perhaps the greatest left winger ever, with a hell of a slap shot. Canadian Hall of Famer Bobby Hull's nickname is... Golden Stick is good. Ooh, Jim has it. It's the Golden Jet. Yeah, the Golden Jet. Well done, Jim Shields. Nice. Well done. Okay, next one. The precision parachuting team of the United States Army is called what? The precision parachuting team of the United States Army is called what? Yes, it is, Jim. It's the Golden Knights. I like that picture, too. The Golden Knights. Luis has it, too. The Golden Knights. Yeah. Chris gets it. Wes gets it. John gets it. Nice. Yep, the Golden Knights. Next. Golden Rule was the original name of a dry goods and clothing store founded in 1902 in Wyoming by the namesake of what large retail chain? It was called the Golden Rule. What retail chain founded this obscure little store called the Golden Rule? Does anybody know? Woolworth? Good answer. No. Yes, it was JCPenney, as a matter of fact. JCPenney is the answer. Wow. The Organization of World War II Airmen who have been rescued from the sea after being shot down is known as what? The Organization of World War II Airmen who have been rescued from the sea after being shot down is known as what? Again, the word gold is in the title. You're awesome. You're on fire, Jim. It's true. Okay, you're really close, but it's another kind of sea creature. Almost. Yes, kind of. I'll give it to Heather. The answer is the Goldfish Club. They're called the Goldfish Club. Good job. You guys are awesome. All right. Who is the Pro Football Hall of Famer known as the Golden Boy? Who is the Pro Football Hall of Famer known as the Golden Boy? I know, but you got it right. This is how your mind works, you see? OJ, not the Golden Boy. Not Joe Namath, not Montana, though it probably should have been, and Jim for the win. Yes, it's actually, you spelled it wrong. It's Paul Hornung, Hornung. He is called the Golden Boy. Jim, kicking ass today. All right, next one. The Gold Hill School was the name of the orphanage run by the title character played by Merlin Olsen in what TV series? I don't know who's going to get this one right. The Gold Hill School was the name of the orphanage run by the title character played by Merlin Olsen in what TV series? I never even watched this one. I will tell you that gold is not in this answer. So, oh my God, how do you guys know this? This is crazy. Yes, it's Father Murphy. Father Murphy. You guys, I'm telling you. Last gold question. You guys are like, thank God for the gold. What Arizona senator who ran for president in 1964 used the symbols of two elements on his campaign button? What Arizona senator who ran for president in 1964, used the symbols of two elements on his campaign button? Yeah, it was Goldwater. Goldwater, you got it. John Watson and JT. Where's JT? I saw that come in. JT and Jim, SJ Lola, Goldwater, Uncle Jim has it. Linda has it. Chris, Sandy, William has it. Nice. Luis throwing it down. Cindy throwing it down. Well done. Love it. Okay. I know we're happy, but the next one is all about crying. It's called For Crying Out Loud. Tears produced by hypocritical or insincere weeping are called what? Oh, cry me these tears. Tears that are hypocritical or insincere are called what? Yeah, they're called crocodile tears. Murphy getting it in there fast. Wes gets it. Uncle Jim gets it. You guys all got it. Crocodile tears. Well done, you guys. Okay, next crying question. The shortest verse in English Bibles is found in the Gospel of John 11:35. What does it say? This is a religious question. I would have no idea, but maybe you guys do. The shortest verse in English Bibles is found in the Gospel of John 11:35. What does it say? Yes, you know it. I love you guys. Oh my God. Love, 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 love. The right answer is Jesus wept. Yep. Jesus wept. That's right. You guys are so educated or so religious. Or both. A little bit both. I don't know. I wouldn't have known it, so I'm impressed. Besides the tear gland, what is the more technical term for the gland that produces tears? Besides tear gland, what is the more technical name for the gland that produces our tears? Jeebus wept. Yes, as a matter of fact, Heather gets it right. It is the lacrimal gland. That is the technical name for the tear gland. Heather throws it down. Uncle Jim, I'm giving it to you anyway because it sounds a lot like lacrimal. Yeah, lacrimal. Nice. Very good. Very good. Next one. Here we go. To weep. This is a quote. To weep is to make less the depth of grief. Let me say it again in a better way. To weep is to make less the depth of grief. Who wrote that? To weep is to make less the depth of grief. Do we know who wrote it? Yeah, that's Shakespeare. It is Shakespeare. Nicely done. JT and John. It is Shakespeare. As a matter of fact, it comes from King Henry VI, William Shakespeare. All right, next one. She may be clued in crossword puzzles as daughter of Tantalus or weeper of myth. Who is she? She may be clued in crossword puzzles as the daughter of Tantalus or the weeper of myth. Who is she? She's not. I don't know a lot about her. She might be one, but that's not her name. Nope. The weeper of myth. Walter's like, you got me on this one. I might have to give you guys this one. Lori's like, I don't know. Throwing it out. Her name is Niobe. 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 I wouldn't have known it either, but that sounded like a question from Jeopardy. Totally. Weep no more, my lady, is a line from what Stephen Foster song? Weep no more, my lady. What song did that come from? John said Areola. Not her name. No. Oh, did John have it? And I missed it? Oh, John, I'm so sorry. You had Niobe and I missed it? I'm still not seeing it. Old Kentucky home. Uncle Jim has gotten it. It is correct. Weep no more, my lady. Uncle Jim gets it. Viewfinder's president gets it. Nice. Too hard today? I'm sorry. Some of them are hard, some of them are easy. I don't know. The governor of Maine withdrew from the 1972 presidential race after he was vilified for weeping in public after a verbal attack on his wife. Guy cries because someone speaks out against his wife in 1972, leaves the presidential race. Are you kidding? Nowadays, no one would leave for crying. Who was he? John Rothman would know this one. It was not Eagleton. Was not Eagleton that left the race for crying. Nope. Oh, that's funny. Huh. Yeah. This man's name was Edmund Muskie. Muskie is the one who was crying. Yep. What punny character in Alice in Wonderland was always weeping and also showed Alice how to dance the lobster quadrille? What punny character in Alice in Wonderland was always weeping and also showed Alice how to dance the lobster quadrille? It was Muskie, yeah. Not the Mad Hatter. Yes, it was the Mock Turtle, Uncle Jim. Murphy had it too, the Mock Turtle. That's right. It was the Mock Turtle. Good job. Next one. You take somebody that cries their, this is a quote, you take somebody that cries their goddamn eyes out over phony stuff in the movies, and 9 times out of 10, they're mean bastards at heart. What character said it in what book? Here's the quote again. You take somebody that cries their goddamn eyes out over phony stuff in the movies, and 9 times out of 10, they're mean bastards at heart. What character said it in what book? I think most of us have read the book. Yep, it was the turtle. What character said that in what book? Do we know? You said that? No. You might have. Sounds like something Stephen King would write. Jack Reacher? No. Should I give you guys the answer? Because neither of those are the correct one. The correct answer is Holden Caulfield in The Catcher in the Rye. Oh, Chris had it the minute I said it. Yay, Chris. Yay, Chris. Look at you. And look at your shiny hair. That's nice. Okay, next one. What is the title of Thomas Pynchon's shortest novel published in 1966? It's about crying. What's the title of Thomas Pynchon's shortest novel published in 1966? I wouldn't have known this. Should I just give it to you? It's called The Crying Lot of 49. The Crying Lot of 49. Yeah, look, you already knew it. John Watson knew it. Good job. Last question. The Incas referred to what precious metal as tears of the moon? The Incas referred to what precious metal as tears of the moon? Precious metal. Not stone. Not gold. Tears of the moon. Not pearls. Not amethyst. It's a metal. Not mercury either. Although you would think that because it would be runny like tears. Teacher Lori for the win. Silver. Oh, John had it as well. Silver. Yeah, you guys. Silver. Tears of the moon. That's right. That's good. All right. Are we done or you guys want a few more questions? How about a couple Canadian questions? Banff National Park is Canada's oldest national park. In what province is it located? Banff National Park is Canada's oldest national park. In what province is it located? It is located in Alberta. Who? John, Sandy. Yeah. Donna, Walnut Creek Adult Softball. Good job. Next one. What are Canada's 3 prairie provinces? What are Canada's 3 prairie provinces? I don't know as much about Canada as I should. What are Canada's 3 prairie provinces? Should I give you the answer? They are Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta. Which is the largest of Canada's provinces in area? The size. Which is the largest of Canada's provinces in area? Not population, but area. Kim, you don't need to know about Canada. Okay. Thank you. What do we have? The largest Canadian province in area. Teacher says only know Canada from the Murdoch Mysteries. At least it's something, Teacher Lori. It is Quebec. Walnut Creek Adult Softball for the win on that one. Nice. A next one is, which province has the largest population? Which province has the largest population? We should know this as Americans, right? I mean, they're neighbors. Yeah, it's Ontario. I'm kind of embarrassed that I didn't know the answer. Ontario, John, Sandy, JT, Walnut Creek. Yeah, you guys are good. You know these things. Nice. All right. What is the longest river in Canada? And bonus points if you can tell me what province or territory it's in. Longest river in Canada. And if you can, what province or territory is that in? Kind of sounds Scottish to me. The longest river in Canada. Nope. Nope. Not Yukon. Not the St. Lawrence. The River. No. You ready for the answer? Oh, wait. Donna. It is not the Fraser River, although I appreciate the Outlander-related answer. It is, instead, the Mackenzie River in the Northwest Territories. So you got the Northwest Territories right. Walnut had it. Yep. Heather wants more science questions. Maybe we'll do that next week, more science questions. When the Titanic was struck by an iceberg and sank in 1912, it was southeast of which Canadian province? When the Titanic hit an iceberg and sank, it was southeast of which Canadian province? Did we get this one? Yeah, Newfoundland. Newfoundland, says John. Newfound says teacher. Louise has it. Heather has it. Yeah, Walnut has it. It's Newfoundland at Labrador. So there you have it. What is Canada's smallest province? Canada. Did I say Canada? Canada. What is Canada's smallest province? Smallest one. They don't say or specify whether they're talking about area or population, but it's probably the same thing. And indeed, it is Prince Edward Island. Well done. All right. Well, that concludes our kind of, I would say, hard round of trivia this week. I'll try to make it a little easy, not necessarily a little easier, but maybe something maybe we have more knowledge about next time around. But yeah, so there we go. Let me take the time to hugely thank everyone again for helping me celebrate the fantastic news that we have been remonetized on the After Party Live. Again, Cindy, so awesome. Trevor, thank you. Wes, as always, thank you. Nick throwing down a 10, thank you. Luis coming in with 10. Oh my gosh, you guys. Dallas with 25. Heather with 5. Oh my goodness. Doug with 5. Sandy with 5. Gary D with 10. So cool. That's 10 super stickers on this day of remonetization. So thank you for that. Thank you for bearing with me while that wasn't the case, while we had to wait out the 32 days and everything else. I just appreciate you guys sticking by the show and kind of rallying around to help keep it going, for playing trivia with me, for all the ways that you do. I can't tell you how much I love this community of people that gather every afternoon. You guys are awesome. Huge, huge thank you to everyone. And please click the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do that as well. I'll see you tomorrow. We have Tim Sika with movie reviews. It'll be a great Mark Thompson show and a really good Nikki Maduro, a great Nikki Maduro show as well. And I hope you're here for it Friday on YouTube. I will see you tomorrow. I hope you make it a great day. And again, congratulations to the After Party Live and all of us for the remonetization of the show. I appreciate it. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.
Oh, that's nice, viewfinders. Thank you. Bye, you guys.